Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having an awesome day. Hey, I wanted to talk to you today about an exercise that may be a little less familiar, but I think it's a really effective one, especially for getting this sense of control as it relates to doing overhead movements. We don't do a whole lot of overhead movements here at Body Basics, not because we don't believe in them. I think they're fantastic, but because a lot of you as our clients, and I'm going to even speak to myself, we have trouble with maintaining control in our trunk that we preach here with a solid overhead movement. So I'm going to show you something that starts me face down, and I've got Christian behind the camera, so he's going to make sure I'm in the right position. And so then once I get set, you're going to get a sense for what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to do an exercise that I would consider an anti-flexion exercise. In other words, this is the action of flexion, so we're going to be anti that. So we're going to be in more of this extended position. So I'm going to be lying face down and just listen in here. So once I get face down here, what I want to do is first I'm going to talk about how we're breathing. Breathing is a big deal here at Body Basics. So notice the difference between, and I'm going to move up my shirt here so you can see. Notice the difference between my abdomen now, where it's just loose and hanging, versus now. Can you see that, Christian?
Very much so.
Okay. So we talk about drawing in. So you can see this is loose. This is drawn in. So we're going to have a little bit of awareness there. It doesn't have to be this hard drawing maneuver. It's just subtle. And we'll see why that makes a difference in a second. But first, with that breathing, I'm going to inhale. And I just want you to notice this difference. If I inhale with just totally relaxed stomach, I get this kind of breath. If I inhale with that drawn in position.
Can you take your wrist out of the way?
Yeah, sorry. If I inhale with this drawn in position, I get more rib expansion. So watch right here. Difference again. I'm going to breathe with my stomach relaxed. And it's more this upward motion. If I go a little bit drawn in, you can see how it's a little more expansion out, not as much up. The second one is what we're looking for. The reason for that is as I'm breathing and I'm getting into this extended position, if I'm not drawn in, notice how much more motion I have this way versus when I draw in, you see me draw in again,
yep,
and I try to get that same motion. So what I'm trying to affect are the muscles of that lower back, all along the spine actually, that function to hold me in this upright position. If I let go and go into extension, I'm still working those muscles, but I'm also substituting a lot of range in that lower back. So if you have back issues, you're going to promote stress in that lower back. So find that balance there. Okay, once we have that in place, how does that relate to an overhead movement? Well, watch. I'm going to slide down. And now that I'm here, if I draw in, get my arms up, take that inhale, exhale forward, you can see where my arm is heading. In an overhead motion, optimum is we're looking for this control here and this vertical line, almost this 180-degree line all the way down. You can see that it's really hard for me to get to, particularly if I was holding a barbell, I'd have to be here. So you can see how hard that is. So instead of doing an overhead movement, consider this. Just draw in, strong inhale, get your arms in position, exhale forward, go where you can. If you can only go here, then only go there. If you can go further, go further. One thing right away, if you're not able to go further, consider loading that shoulder press. Stop doing it. You're putting a lot of risk into damaging the shoulder joint, controlling your trunk, and so forth. So just stop doing it. Consider this as an alternative. You're going to be safer for it. Have a great day.